Connection. Today's podcast will begin shortly.
Your co-hosts are Chief streaming from Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook, along with Insidious streaming on Twitch, Facebook, and YouTube, and the Ghost from Ghost MAF streaming on Twitch. Welcome to Highway 34 Connection, the pod. The following podcasts are for mature audiences only, unscripted, unfiltered, and unedited as always. Pro Wrestling Talk, where we will sit down and we will discuss the world of professional wrestling. Conspiracy theories. Have a conspiracy you want us to talk about? Email us at highway34@gmail.com. Highway 34's History Lesson of the Week for World History. Talking Football, where we'll discuss the National Football League, the XFL, and the USFL. And the Honest 50, where the Chief will sit down with a guest and ask 50 questions, 25 from the Chief, 25 from their community. The Battle of Highway 34, the Trivia Show. Watch and listen as Ghost battles Insidious, or they battle the Chief. It is now time for your main event. Let's freaking go.
Is it sad that I have that video down to a T? Just curious, because I was sitting there lipping it the whole time it was going. I'm almost pretty sure I could just not do the video and just do all the reading to it. I'm sorry, guys. I had to get that out there. But anyways, it's Talking Football, and we have a lot to discuss.
And I'm pretty sure Insidious is going to say the famous phrase of his...
No, not really.
No, you're going to say it. You're going to say, Cowboys do cowboy things. You're going to say it eventually.
No, not really. Not this time. Actually, I have some stuff I want to talk about on that, but we'll wait until we get there.
All right. So, yes, we, as we know, it's week 15 going to week 16, so we only have 3 more weeks left of football before it's the playoffs. Fun. So let's talk about the Thursday night opener. What Raider team was that? That was like...
Oh, yeah, dude. That was such an ass kick. Yeah, that was such an ass kick, and they fired the GM and the coach the next day, bro. I guess the owner didn't even wait, dude. He made his decision into the half. Like, it was made, like, at the half.
So, Raiders, 63.
Hi, Pixie.
Chargers, 21.
Yeah, it was made at the half, believe it or not. Like, at halftime, like, the owner made his mind up that they were both gone. He pretty much figured out the GM was out of his mind bringing that coach in. And that, yeah, it's pretty much time for a reboot over there. Could we see Kellen Moore head coach, possibly?
Well, let's see. It was at halftime. I mean, I'm surprised. This is one of those times when I'm wondering, don't you just give it up? Because at halftime, it was 42-0. 42-0. And your team, the Raiders, eventually gets a total of 9 touchdowns. 63 points. I mean, that's... But is that the Chargers being horrible, or is that Raider team put something in their coffee?
Well, you got to look at the Chargers record, and you got to look at the Raiders record.
At the time, they were both 5-8, and they both knew the loser could potentially have been eliminated that week. Now,
okay, if that was the case, honest to goodness, in that case, they all should play good right now. We can look. Oh, fuck! I could compare this to the Monday night game,
but I'm not going. But the Raiders said, "You know what? We're going to go to work."
That's where I was getting at, and that's what I was getting ready to say. Well, you could compare that to the Monday night game, but really you can't, because They both tried just as hard, and not one of them put up that many fucking points. So,
And the Chargers, surprisingly, were not eliminated last week. However, the Chargers could win this week and be eliminated. So the Chargers have a lot of problems. So the Chargers actually need a miracle not to be eliminated this week. But we'll talk about that a little bit later. All right, let's go through these noon games. Some were Sunday games. Some were Saturday. I'm sorry. These are the 3 Saturday games. Somewhere along the line.
something tells me Ghost had put a little bit too much in his coffee tonight.
Shut up. I didn't put anything. Maybe that's a problem. The first game went to overtime and basically went down to the wire. It was pretty close of it being a tie game, and it was the Bengals squeaking by the Vikings 27-24. And what I saw was a really good game. It went back and forth all the way to the end, as of course overtime. And the Bengals, they started. They were up here, then they slid down. Like, yep, Bengals are done. But now they've bounced back up to a point where. Okay, they're back to being a serious team again. So something happened during that halfway mark where, what do you think? You started good, you're going crappy, and we're like, yep, we're done with Burrow. But now they're back to being talked about in the playoff picture.
Of course, you know why? Because they're irrelevant. For an example, as long as you're not America's team, you'll be talked about as a playoff contender all day long. You'll be talked about you being the number 1 seed, and even though you're 6-5, you're going to be the number 1 seed. You could be the best QB at that time. I mean, hell, you'll probably hear him say that on any given Sunday about any other quarterback in the NFL, unless you're on America's team again. If it wasn't for the Patriots, Dallas would be under a lot more heat. We'll go with that.
All right. Colts then did their business over the Steelers, 30-13, which really hurt the Steelers, by the way. Lions dominated over the Broncos, 42-17. So, I mean, the Broncos are trying to get in there and squeak in the 7th seed, but it ain't going to happen with these losses. All right, going to Sunday. Oh dear, the Panthers got a win over the Falcons. 9-7. 3 field goals beats a touchdown.
Shined a decade too. All right.
Okay. Browns beat the Bears 2017. Bucks upset the Packers 34-20. The Dolphins shut out the Jets 30-0 in a dominating fashion, which eliminated the Jets. Let's see. I believe the Bears got eliminated with that loss if they weren't already. I forget. Let's see here. Let me look. No, the Bears are not eliminated yet. Okay, but the Jets were eliminated. Huh?
Tune in next week.
Yes, tune in next week. Jets were not eliminated with that loss. The Jets were eliminated, yes. The Saints defeated the Giants 24-6. The Texans defeated the Titans 19-16. With that game also, I think that game, let me double check, but I think that one also went to OT. Yep, it did. All right. But that loss eliminated the Titans. Chiefs beat the Patriots 27-17.
Saw that coming.
Yeah, we did. Niners dominated the Cardinals 45-29, which eliminated the Cardinals. The Rams defeated the Commanders 28-20, which eliminated the Commanders. Now, also with those losses of the Commanders and the Giants, despite the fact that both of these teams lost their respective game, that clinched both the Eagles and the Cowboys. And now let's talk about those Cowboys. 31-10.
Which I saw coming. I called this.
Actually, you voted for Cowboys last week.
I did, but you can ask everybody. Deep down, I knew who was going to win. We're not a away team. I knew that going in. I'm like, don't. And if you remember, I did say this last week. Don't expect the domination that you see at home. Don't expect them to have 40 numbers up on that board.
You did say that. Yes, you did.
Oh, we're good, buddy. How are you? So I did watch some of the highlights and stuff. And I must say, Dallas just did not play well. I'm not going to put all the blame on Dak here because I can't. Not this time.
No,
Not
you
this time.
Mm-mm.
What I saw Sunday
I
was
think
11 was nowhere to be found. Micah Parsons.
my theory is they found out they clinched and they said, you know what, we don't have to work hard today.
Actually, Dak's response to that was, I'm not even worried about that right now.
Mm-hmm.
That was his response. Deep down, I was thinking like you did. They probably figured out that they didn't have to care about it. It didn't matter. We clinched. All we need to do now is hold off the Eagles so we could lose this one and go up against Miami, and we'll go there. Because they know the Eagles are going to win against the Giants. It's a given. They're going to win against the Giants. They're going to do it both times. They're going to go in and they're going to beat the Cardinals. They're going to win their next 3 games. The thing that hurt Dallas.
That means you're saying the Eagles are going to get their division back.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Unless that's what Dallas wants. There was something that got me, and you can say this is a conspiracy theory if you want to, and it kind of is. Mike McCarthy made a statement in the press conference that kind of got me. He made the statement of Green Bay Packers, and he referred it to that. He goes, this isn't the first time teams have had trouble, especially the ones I've coached, where we had trouble in the offense and the defense, having problems on the road, but at home we'll dominate. He goes, if you remember right, the Super Bowl I won, I had the similar problem. And we figured it out on the last 3 games. I'm like, coincidence? Or are you saving energy for when people think you're weak when you're actually strong?
Well, then
I mean, if that's the case, dude, he pulled the fucking blinders off over everyone.
All right, and then the Ravens.
How would you take that?
I don't know. Let me just quickly see the last 2 games, and then we can talk about it. Ravens beat the Jaguars 23-7. I figured the Ravens was going to win, but I didn't think it was going to be that big of a margin.
I thought you left me.
The Ravens clinched with that victory, and then the Seahawks upset the Eagles 20-17. So in a game where you were so sure the Eagles were going to dominate, and yet the Seahawks held on. So now we've talked about Week 15. So what is going on here? I mean, like you said, anything can happen in any given day. Week of football.
I was sketchy with the Eagles. Seeing how Dallas they played against Dallas and how they played against San Francisco, I was sketchy on them coming out with a win over the Seahawks. But I had to give them the doubt because come on, it's Hurts, man. You don't roll out Hurts. They still couldn't get going. So I don't know. I mean, do I think the Eagles have lost their way? Yeah. But if my conspiracy is correct, Mike McCarthy might be playing a card that they have to play each other in the divisional round. And maybe that's what he's betting on. Dallas saves their energy. They go up in the divisional round or whoever they face, and they're not going to have home field advantage. So the other team's going to be like, we got this. Dallas comes out and smokes them. I mean, if you look at that game, did you watch it?
I did.
Them boys were not even trying. I mean, Micah Parsons let a guy run right by him. What the fuck, really? They didn't try to throw the ball one time. They straight ran it. Dallas has a good run defense. And for them to just kind of shut that off, I'm really shocked. You're reading the comments section, aren't you?
No, I'm ignoring that.
Yeah, me too, actually. Trying. I don't know. There's so much skepticals that you could hope Dallas does. But and then I look at the play calls.
All right.
The penalties on Zach Martin. Really? Come on. He's your center. He's been the center for fucking ever. When the fuck does he make penalties? And they were stupid, just stupid penalties. So in my mind, I'm sitting here thinking, are they, maybe planning this out, maybe faking it out a little bit, trying to get people to think they're weak when they're really not?
I don't know, because there were some penalties that happened that made no sense. There were catches that should have been not catches, and not catches that should have been catches, and touchdowns where it should have been one. They said it wasn't, and that's what happened in the Raven Jaguar game. By the way, I think the Jags got screwed. There was that touchdown that was flat out a touchdown, but they said that it was. I mean, I don't know.
Actually, are you still here?
What?
I was asking Pixie if she was still in there. I mean, me being on my phone, I can't click the screen and see who's all still here. Okay. Could you read those comments in the section there at all?
Yeah, I see them. They're stupid.
Oh, I didn't know if she could.
Oh.
Well, they got off anyways because it went back to one viewer. So.
All right, so let's
do this thing here.
Let's talk about the playoff picture, shall we? So, week 15 gave us a new look into the NFC. So right now, if the season was to end today, here's your 7 teams in the NFC. Niners in the first seed. Cowboys
in the 3rd seed. Eagles in the 4th seed. And of course, San Francisco is the number 1 seed. Ghost, you're broken. or I'm broken. One of us is broken. Yeah, I think he is broken. He's frozen like a ghost.
I got no idea what just happened. I just lost the whole damn browser restart.
You were frozen like a ghost. That's what happened. And you're gone again. Mm. And he's gone. Yeah. He's the one with the notes. This is awkward. I could turn this into such a random podcast like right now. It ain't even funny. So, what do y'all want to talk about? Rubber bands and water bongs?
I don't know what's causing my browser keeps restarting.
Mm.
All right. So week 16 was in today. The 7 for the NFC would be the Niners in the first seed. Cowboys currently on the second seed, but you think that's going to change in a couple of weeks.
What do you mean? Thank God he's back. It was just about to get interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What?
The Lions are in the third seed. The Bucks are in the fourth. Eagles are currently in the fifth seed. The Vikings are in the sixth seed, and currently the Rams are the seventh seed.
I'm glad you brought up San Francisco because I have something I wanted to ask you.
Mm.
Would you ever have seen Brock Purdy as a starting quarterback last year?
Honestly, yes. I saw him as talent.
No, I mean, coming into the draft, he was a third string quarterback for Iowa State. Last pick of the draft to San Francisco. Did you ever think he would, go above that?
Yeah.
I mean, I knew he had talent. Don't get me wrong. I don't think I ever got to see him play. But after seeing him play and seeing how his first game he dominated fucking Tom Brady. The GOAT just dominated.
Mm.
I mean, that's what made me a believer, and I feel that as long as he holds on to San Francisco and they keep all the weapons they got, I think they're going to be a force to be reckoned with for a long time.
All right. So for the AFC, you have the Ravens at the first seed. Dolphins are currently in the second seed. Chiefs are third. Jaguars are fourth seed. And the 3 in the wild card is the Browns. The Bengals came from being on the outside. They're now in. And the Colts are now in with the Texans and the Steelers being kicked out. See, isn't it just amazing just what one game can do to the whole playoff picture on how tight the AFC is right now? You can't let your guard down over there.
To me, the AFC doesn't matter.
Oh.
At all. Because nobody is going to be able to handle the firepower of San Francisco. Nobody.
We're going to talk about that very, very soon as we talk about Week 16. So,
I don't see any. I don't. I mean, who's the most that you have over there right now, as far as top scoring points per game? Who is really the best they have?
Ravens and Dolphins.
Exactly. Dolphins will get knocked out. It's probably going to be the Ravens, and the Ravens is going to go into the Super Bowl and get their asses fucking smoked. Straight smoked.
Both the Niners and the Ravens both have an 11-3 record.
Yeah, and we've seen this before. When it comes to a very different morale coming out of San Francisco,
you look. I really need you to hold that thought just for a little bit, and you'll understand why after a few minutes. You will. Okay. All right. So the teams that can be eliminated this week are the Bears. If they lose and if a few other teams win, they're out.
Hang on.
The Giants, I think, could be eliminated, but they haven't updated that list yet. The Chargers can be eliminated with so many factors, and if the Raiders lose their next week's game, they're out. Now, the teams that can clinch this week, the first couple are easy. Lions, winning in. Chiefs, winning in. Dolphins, winning in. The fourth team that can get a playoff berth this week is the Cleveland Browns. What? Yes, the Cleveland Browns have a shot. Are in the playoff berth of this week. However, they need to win, and they need 4 out of 6 teams to lose. So they need a lot of help. The 6 teams are Broncos, Colts, Bills, Dolphins, Steelers, and where's the 6th one? I had it written down. Steelers, Bills, Colts, Jaguars. Yeah, Steelers, Bills, Colts, Jaguars, Dolphins, Broncos. Those are 6 teams, and they need 4 of those to lose in order for them to get their playoff berth. So I don't think it's going to happen, but that one week when the Cowboys needed 7 things to happen for them, all but one happened. So things happen these days. All right, so let's talk about Week 16. All right, let's go through the vote, our polls. And
who won last week?
With who?
Me and you.
Oh, you had. Oh, that's pretty good. I threw it on the floor. You had 8 right. I had 10 right.
So don't listen to Insidious if you're betting.
Well, the ones you got wrong were the Chargers, the Vikings, the Steelers, the Broncos, the Packers, the Titans, the Patriots, and your own boys. So you got the Panthers right, but you were giving them a pity vote. You got the Browns right. You got the Browns right. You got the Dolphins, Saints, Niners, Rams, Ravens, and Seahawks. I got the Broncos wrong as well. I went with Falcons. I got that wrong. I went with Packers. I went with Giants. I went with Titans, Jaguars, and Eagles. Got those all wrong. So, all right. Here's your Week 16 game for Thursday.
We'll go with the Rams.
Both of these teams are 7-7. A win puts them in that picture. The loss makes them fall out. All right. This could help the Steelers get back in the play, or the Bengals could get themselves a really good, better position than they already are. What are you thinking? I'm thinking the Tigers.
I am too. Steelers ain't playing worth a shit.
All right. All right. Saturday Night Football. We got here we go. The Chargers getting eliminated?
Yep. Unless the Chargers actually show up and play some ball.
Okay, so the Falcons just got their butt defeated by the Panthers. So what do you think?
I'm going to go Falcons just because the Colts ain't playing worth a shit neither.
Colts are currently weeks in the 7th seed. I'm going to give it to Colts. Colts are winning. Speaking of those Panthers.
I don't know. They're both equally shitty.
Oh,
but if I'm going to take a pick, I'll take Packers.
All right.
Texans. Even though they're not really the same Texans team right now.
Texans are the 8th seed, so they're holding on.
But
There.
they
They're
ain't
holding
been
on. They're holding on.
by a string.
Well, they're not in. They're the one team that's out, but they're hungry to get in. All right, I'm going the Browns though. All right, how about this one? Are the Lions clinching?
Yep.
All right, we're going with the Lions clinching. So these two teams have already been eliminated. Now they're just fighting for pride at this point.
I'll go Jets. Commanders suck.
They've both been kind of sucking, but I can't root for Commanders. It's not until they change their name back.
Redskins. I'll go Titans on this one.
All right, I'll go with the Hawks. That way we have some differences here.
I'll go with the Jags.
All right. I'll go with the Jags as well. All right. Are the Bears going bye-bye?
Yep. Cardinals.
I think the Bears are going to hold on. Well, they still may be eliminated, but I don't think they're losing this game. All right. Let's see. What's your thoughts? It's at Miami, so I don't know if that makes a difference to you.
Well, I don't know, man. I don't know. I mean, my heart says go with my boys, but my mind says go with the Dolphins.
All right.
And I know how hard it is for you to go against your team, but
I've been doing it a lot this year. I've been doing it a lot this year because I know they know they're not doing it.
I have been, but this close to the playoffs, I can't do this. So I'm gonna have to go with the Cowboys.
All right. Sunday Night Football.
Oh, I'm gonna go with the Broncos.
So am I. I think the Broncos are holding on for right now.
Yep, they're gonna go. Yeah, they're not out yet.
Well, all right. Here's your Christmas games, people. Are the Raiders eliminated?
Oh yeah.
I'm
Or
gonna say Raiders just for the.
You know what? I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna go Raiders on this one.
All right.
Just because I'm tired of rooting for the fucking Reds. Do we really care? But you know what? With the way the Eagles have been playing, though, I'm going to go Giants. Because whatever in the hell is going on over there, and I have a pretty good idea what's going on, and they're trying to hide it, is I think Jalen's hurt, man.
Oh? Well.
Dude,
all right. Now,
when we faced them when they came to Dallas and we beat the shit out of them, Jalen ran immediately to the locker room. He did not talk to anybody. He literally just went right to the locker room.
All right. Now, this is the reason why I told you to hold off on your thought earlier, because this is Christmas night, Monday Night Football. Is this the Super Bowl?
Oh, I'm taking Niners, man. I'm taking Niners.
But if they're playing now, and if they do end up playing in the Super Bowl, they'll learn a lot from this game. They'll learn mistakes. They'll learn this. They'll learn that. And maybe they'll fix it.
Yeah, but you know what? That isn't going to matter. You know why? Because when it comes to the Super Bowl, everybody runs a different playbook on offense and defense. It's a whole different thing.
But
you don't run the same playbook.
You don't think that the coaches and the coaching staff, if this is the game, those 2 weeks in between the championship game and the Super Bowl, you don't think they're going to be watching this video
it isn't going to matter.
Every single thing?
It isn't going to matter. They run different playbooks at Super Bowl. True. Every team does. It is not going to matter at all. Yeah, this game is going to be an ass kicking by the 49ers.
But we
And
see rematches all the time where this team won, but then all of a sudden the playoffs come, the other team won because they learned from their mistakes. We see it all the time.
oh yeah, sure, the Ravens will learn from their mistakes under what playbook? That's what I'm getting at. You can say you're going to watch tape and everything else of what? You're not going to run that same playbook at Super Bowl because
You're
no
not,
team does. No team does.
you're not going to keep what works.
No, you never do. Because why? Because they have all them tapes from all year long to study you. So you change your playbook at Super Bowl. They have always done that.
Hmm.
Every team changes their playbook at Super Bowl.
See, this is why I wanted you to hold your thought, because
So am I
really
looking
think
for, if anything, I will look for 49ers to go out there, do what 49ers do. They're going to not stomp the fucking ground with them.
Mm-hmm.
And when Super Bowl comes around, they're going to do it 10 times harder.
Well, let's pause that thought and see if it comes to pass when the Super Bowl comes around. But this is our Monday night game. This is what we're getting. This is our main event. So we speak.
But we also can't forget we still have divisional rounds coming up. Just because they make it, and they get their bye week or whatever, they still got the conference and division.
Yep. And
So
anybody can get lucky.
exactly, they can catch you on an off night. And Dallas will know they've had plenty of them.
Yeah. And let me tell you something. Does the bye week, the first, because they say you get some refresh, you get a heal, you get that break, but then you get a team that just got off a victory, who has some morale coming in, but they're beaten up a little bit. So who really has the advantage? The one that took a break, or the one that has some morale going? Because I've heard arguments on both sides.
The argument is when you rest, you're no longer as sore. So when you get that week off, like a full week, you're not practicing very much. You're trying to literally get your body to heal.
Mm-hmm.
It can break you. It can hurt you. It just depends on the team, how focused they are, how determined. We've seen Dallas come out of a bye week, get smoked. Seen San Fran come off a bye week and fucking light it up. So just really depends on the team, the coaching staff, what all they decide to do.
Because that's what happened with the Broncos. When they came out of their bye week and they started saying, "Okay, we're going to start doing some business."
Well, like I said, that's because their bye week. They probably practiced. Dallas probably said, "Okay, guys, this is our week off. Take it," and they didn't do anything. And when you don't, do anything,
what if you were a coach for a bye week? Would you do a lot of practicing, or would you give your team a rest?
If it's coming into playoffs, dude, we're practicing.
I'm talking about the normal bye week that you get throughout the year.
Normal bye weeks are pretty consistent of helping out the community, like going to the children's hospitals and stuff like that. Stuff you don't see in the papers is normally the kind of stuff they do. And then they'll do like maybe 3 or 4 hour practices. And then the rest of the time you're out with the community or just making a face for yourself pretty much. Or weightlifting or going to basketball games. I mean, you do see a lot of that throughout the year. I don't know. I guess whatever helps the players get in their head and keep motivated. But me as a coach, I'm thinking, you know what? It's game time. You also got to give your guys breaks in between the week. Like I said, I don't know how long they practice. I don't think anybody really does. I mean, if you have a place like Arlington, and obviously it doesn't matter rain or shine, you're probably going to be practicing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
yeah, but places in the cold, they'll practice in the cold too, just so they're used to it. They're ready to go.
I mean, that's what I was going to say. And that's where you have the harder teams, and maybe that's why the Giants are sucking so bad. That cold weather's fucking with them over there.
Mm.
You got a lot of people from LA and shit, and they're not used to that.
And yet Buffalo's doing pretty decent, and it's even colder in Buffalo than it is in New York.
I can't give that a factor. I mean, time will tell Monday if the cold was a factor for Dallas or not. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know how I feel about that whole game. I know cold is. I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about that whole game. After, like I said, after watching it and watching some of the highlights, it's I just seen a almost look like a Kiwi football team out there. That's literally how I looked at it when I watched the Dallas Cowboys play. It's like they all forgot how to play. He runs outside, wave at him. Hey, how's it going, buddy? Look at him go. Like, I just couldn't get over it. Right up the middle. Nobody to stop him. You know how many yards that guy racked up? 230 rushing yards against the Dallas Cowboys. Tell me how pathetic that is.
Well, I do not know. Okay, I'm not really too thrilled with what. This is football talk, but we're going to switch leagues for a second. I just
We're
found
going
out.
college.
I'm sorry.
You're going college?
XFL.
Oh.
As most people know by now, the USFL and the XFL has merged. They're keeping under the XFL rules, which is good. But they've now decided that they're going to combine. They're getting each one had 8 teams, but apparently they're getting rid of 8 teams to keep 8 teams. So, which kind of sucks because it's 4 of those teams I kind of liked. So, the 4 teams, the USFL is bringing over to the XFL. Hold on, let me get this up for a second. Come on. Oh, hold on. The team from Michigan, which I believe was the Panthers, Houston. What? What do you mean no matches found? Give me a second. Something's wrong.
About the Houston Oilers?
Speaking of which, did you notice that in the Tennessee Titan game, they were wearing the Tennessee Oiler costumes?
No.
Yeah. All right.
Dixie, wake up.
I'll follow the Pete. That's not what I wanted.
Oh, what, Pete? Pete's in here? I am. Mentally.
This ain't working. What happened to my spreadsheet? I had a spreadsheet about this.
It went bye-bye.
Okay, so with the USFL, Michigan Panthers, Houston, I forget what they were, the Memphis and Birmingham Stallions, which were the champions, their going to stay around. The ones that are gone is the Pittsburgh team, the New Jersey team, the New Orleans Breakers, which suck. That's the team that I liked, and the Philadelphia team. They're going to be gone, and they have not decided. They've decided the XFL Roughnecks will be gone, which makes no sense. I think it was the Roughnecks that no, they didn't. It was the Renegades that won. So the Roughnecks will be gone. Then you got, but they haven't made the decision on what teams are going to stick around. So it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I you honestly thought with these two leagues merging, instead of getting rid of half the teams, you get double the teams. But it's whatever. Anyway, I had a spreadsheet that had all the team names on them in the record, but for some reason it's gone. So whatever. All right, do you got anything else?
No, not really.
All right.
Just complaining about my boys. Not really.
Oh, come
not
on.
really.
You guys still clenched. I mean, it's not like.
I mean, like I said, I'm not really complaining.
I mean, you're going to go to the playoffs. You'll win your wild card game, and then you'll probably lose your division round.
You're planning on going to the division round? I don't even see us make it into the division round.
Oh yeah, the Cowboys will make it to the division round because you'll defeat either A, the Rams, or Seahawks, which is an easy win, or you'll face the Buccaneers, which will be even easier win.
Remember, only if it's at home. Like I said, truth be told, I mean, if Dallas is going to snap up, it's going to have to be these next two games. They have to win the next two. Actually, we got to win the next three, which I don't even count Washington. So I only worry about the next two. I mean, I do get where a lot of people come from, though, that I'm starting to see a lot of it, and it's stuff that I never really paid much attention to. If you are a Dallas Cowboy, you are definitely in front of everybody. I mean, they had Rob Gronkowski on a podcast saying that Dallas doesn't know who they are. They are weak. They can only play at home. They don't have any faith in themselves. They are a poser team. Yeah. And out of all the people out there, all the other teams, Dallas is in front of the spotlight.
Well, because you guys got two different teams. It's the team that dominates and the team that sucks.
But nobody even talked about the fucking Raiders game. They only worried about
weekend.
Huh?
I was talking about it.
You were. I'm talking about TV wise. All you heard about was Dallas all week. They're still on it today. Like it hasn't stopped at all. First thing I woke up, we need to talk about that game. How many times are you going to fucking talk about it? I'm referring to Stephen A. I'm referring to Skip Bayless. I'm referring to all of them. It's the same two people every day. And both of them are on ESPN. They have been nonstop talking about it since Sunday. They started it Sunday night on X. And it has just rolled over into today. And watch, I guarantee you, I will wake up in the morning and they are still going to be talking about it. Like nothing else mattered out of anything that happened Sunday. So I'm starting to see why Dak is talking about constantly being under pressure, and it's because he is. If that team fucks up, it's on him. Like, they don't even look at the defense. They look at him. And they're saying now that Dallas don't have any leaders at all on the team. I'm like, really? We ain't got no leaders on offense and defense? Do you guys not watch sounds from the sidelines? You got Zach Martin rallying up that offense. You got Dak rallying up that offense. And then you can turn around and go to the defensive side, and you got Stephon Gilmore rallying up the defense. And you got DeMarcus Lawrence, D-Law, racking up the defense as well. So I'm sitting here thinking, where are you guys talking about? They ain't got no leaders. They have 4 very good fucking leaders.
Maybe the key word there is good.
Mouse, keep fucking around and you will die. I'll put a dog in the ceiling. He thinks I'm playing.
And ladies and gentlemen, that is him being psycho.
No, I'm being real. My dog is a cat, and he thinks he's a cat, and he's actually up to 3 mice dead.
That's a good thing.
Yeah, I keep hearing this mouse in the ceiling. I will put the dog in the ceiling.
Oh.
I don't know how I'll get him out, but it'll be a good trick. I bet you I don't have a mouse problem anymore.
I still got
Get him,
one.
dog. Get him, dog. Get him. And believe it or not, it ain't the German Shepherd either. Caesar. Caesar is the one that's been getting them. He caught a baby one, and he's killed 2 adults. And I found 1 baby today dead on the floor. So,
Well, be sure to reward him.
I told him what a good puppy he is, and told him that I'm nice. No, I have a cat dog. Of course, he looks at me and wags his tail, and I'm like, "Who's joking? I don't have a dog. I got a cat. That in shape of a dog." Yeah. But no, I don't have nothing else.
All right.
All right, well, we're going to end this up here, and we will talk to you guys next weekend. I see it. And that, I think those are rats, not mice.
And with that, talk to you guys later.
Peace.
I am Insidious. Thanks for watching this podcast.
This is The Ghost, and thank you for watching our podcast.
And I am the Chief. Thank you for tuning in. Have a great night.